I did notice at some point that authenticity was in the air and authentic leadership was in the air. It was a kind of a new way of thinking about leadership, much more about who you are than what you do. I've always been interested in what people do when they face these kind of inflection points in their career, the kind of the what got you here won't get you there sort of moments. And oftentimes they require you to go outside your comfort zone. And going outside your comfort zone inevitably makes most people, not everybody, feel a bit inauthentic. And how do you handle that? And I noticed that for people who place a real premium on being themselves at all cost, even in a kind of a historical sense, these inflection points were tough. You know, I was teaching managers who were moving into bigger leadership roles. And, you know, the whole thing about more persuasive communication and stakeholder management and building the networks and dealing with the politics really made them say, that's not me. And often approach situations in a naive and less than effective way, in a way that was keeping them from accomplishing what they wanted. And so I started to ask the question of how can you be authentic in a way that doesn't condemn you to being as you always have been, which is the question. And I did notice that when you feel a bit under threat, when you are in one of these junctures, you're not so sure you can do it, you don't know how to do it, the skill set's unfamiliar, you're a little bit worried about can you pull it off and do you want to be that person? What it evokes or provokes in you is a more cautious, conservative version of yourself. But if you call that your authentic self, then you lock in. You know, who's going to argue against that? And so you protect yourself from learning. And my argument was that a lot of times that sense of it's not me is really more than anything else a signal that you are learning something new, something that's not habitual, something you haven't done before. People want to decide in their heads, I'm this kind of person, I'm not that kind of person. This is the true me, that's not it. My true self is, this is the thing I was meant to do right here, without realizing that they haven't had experiences that are going to teach them otherwise. And it happens so often that you get thrown into something and it transforms you and you discover strengths or you internalize a new identity over and over and over again. And that's why it is so important, whether you're trying to have greater leadership impact or you're trying to move into a new career, to do stuff, try new things, meet new people, throw yourself at it, rather than try to figure it out in your head by introspection and reflection.